All right, pretty good response to day one of 100 days of AI, zero to builder. We are doing day two. We're going to learn some command line or terminal, and we're going to learn Git. Why are we using the command line? When you ask ChatGTP or ChatGPT questions on how to code and how to create your environment when you do Google searches, you will find that a lot of these things we can do from the interface of our IDE. In this case, we're using Cursor. So we're going to integrate Git into the Hello World program that we've done. What is Git, and why are we using the terminal? You're going to find in application development, it's very difficult to get away from using the terminal. You are going to be referenced, whether you're asking ChatGPT questions or searching for solutions on the web. A lot of the solutions are going to reference using the terminal. So you're going to have to get used to it. And then Git. Why are we using Git? What is Git? Git is version control, a little bit more than version control. It's an open source platform that was developed circa 2005 by Linus Torvalds, who actually gave us Linux. It is a code repository. It allows us to put our code into what's essentially a database and then version control it. If you've ever done pictures with iPhoto or Photoshop and you've made changes to the images, you know you can create branches of your changes and then revert back. If you're from the sysadmin world and you've done VMware vSphere and you've done snapshots, basically taking a snapshot of the current system that you're working on, you make changes, somewhere along the line it breaks and you need to branch off and recover a failed change. This is what Git allows us to do. It also allows us to share our code with multiple users. So there's access control. We'll learn more about access control later on in the series, but it enables us to also share our code base with the public. So if you've heard of a service like GitHub, GitHub is a publicly available service that's closed source or proprietary, that's based off of Git, that allows us to share with the world our code, and other developers can take branches, commit those branches back to our original code, and this is how you collaborate in real time with other developers. Very, very critical part of the workflow for any developer. So I don't functionally use Git because I am not a full-time developer. Most of my applications are really small and don't require something as heavy as Git. So we are going to write a query, or we're going to write a prompt to ask how to install it, get started with it, etc. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to test to see if Git is already installed. So let's go to the terminal. And on my Mac, Git is installed. If you're on a Linux machine, chances are Git is installed. If you're on a Windows machine, Git is unlikely installed. You will need to install Git plus the Bash shell. I'll provide a link in the description of the video and in the post. So Git is installed. So we can skip the installation, any installation services. Now we're going to skip to step 3 and configure Git. All right, I just copy and pasted the command from ChatGPT. This is something to be very careful of. Whenever you see green in these coding examples, you're supposed to supply the input. We did not do that, so I need to go back and do the actual input. All right, now we're going to check our configuration. That looks good. Now we're going to go to step 4. All right, so we already have a Hello World directory because we created it when we did the Hello World application yesterday, and I'm in that directory. So this next set of commands is asking us to make the directory Hello World, to then change our current directory to Hello World. So if you're browsing in a Explorer window and you want, or a Finder window, and you browse to your home directory and then to your documents folder, and then that documents folder, there'll be your programs that we created in Cursor. You'll find Hello World. This is just a way to get to it from the command line. If you don't know how to do this in practice, ask ChatGPT some questions. I'll put some sample questions in the blog post accompanying this video so you get a good set of prompts to practice using the command line. So we're going to initialize our Git repository. That Git repository is now in the subdirectory of Hello World. We're going to git add and then we're going to commit our initial changes to our program. And it's okay in this green. This is pretty much a good description of what we're doing for the commit. And this is a Node.js example. We didn't use Node.js, we used Python. And this is something to keep in mind. Unless you're continuing a prompt session, a chat session with ChatGPT or any other AI, it's going to forget that we did a Hello World yesterday. I can go back to our Hello World session from yesterday and ask this question within this context, and it will remember. So we have to give AI context. So I'm going to tell it that we have a hello world.py Python code that I want to test. So we'll check the status, and it's telling us that we need to stage the file. We're seeing that this file is already staged. Now we're going to commit the file, which I think we already did, but let's just make sure by checking the log. So we got a fatal error. Your current branch main does not have any commits to it. So the root of our Git library or repository doesn't have any commitments. There's nothing there to commit or to log or to check to see if there's any versions of. So our hello world, our hello_world.py is not committed. So we're going to commit it. Now we'll get a git log, and we see our first file has been committed. We've successfully committed our first file to our Git repository. Now, with all things AI, we need to test this. All things coding, we need to test. How do we test for a change? Okay, so I have a question. Are these changes automatically tracked? Oh, bummer. So when I make a change to the file, it won't be automatically tracked. I have to go back and repeat this process. This is why we use the integrated Git within Cursor and the applications. So for day 2, I'm going to give you a couple of challenges. The first challenge is to use ChatGPT or your preferred AI assistant to make a change to Hello World. That's what we did yesterday. After you've updated your Git repository, commit that change or add that change, track it, and see what happens. See if you can revert back. I'll give a a couple of sample prompts that you can play around with, but I'm going to go back off, play with this, add some changes. The second challenge, I had to create a GitHub account. Connect your local GitHub, your local instance of Git to your GitHub account via, I'm not going to nitpick. You can do this via cursor. I'm not going to nitpick. However you connect to GitHub will be a success for me. I'm going to go back. I'm going to play with this. I'm not going to record it. So hopefully you'll have some great stories to share, successes or failures or struggles on the YouTube channel or within the Substack chat or on social media. Looking forward to day 3 of 100 Days of AI.